Alrighty, so coming a day after the Warriors Den live stream where they revealed Warmonger, I've decided that I want to talk about the Warmonger. I mostly just want to give my thoughts and opinion on what I see, not what I've played, because I don't have early access. Because why would I? But from what I've seen, based off the Warriors Den, Warmonger, Warmonger's not going to be a character, or not a character that I think I'll play long term. I'll probably play Warmonger up until Rep 10, which is what I normally like to do with my characters, and then after that I'll probably drop Warmonger. But the reason why I'm going to do it is not because what some people are claiming, which I'm going to get into that later, but I kind of want to start off with, what I feel is like the good thing about Warmonger, or one of Warmonger's best aspects, and it's the customization. I think Warmonger looks pretty solid, despite to me just being another knight. It's not like my personal taste either. I've never liked the knight aesthetic, but it looks alright. But it's just, to me, kind of another generic looking knight, and I don't necessarily mind the gender lock either. I don't feel it changes. I don't feel gender lock really changes customization too much. So it does have its impact, but I don't feel it's a drastic one. So I mean, the customization's alright. And then the other thing, I feel like Warmonger, another positive air quotes for Warmonger, because this is more, to me, this is something more like in the middle, is Warmonger's kit. Just looking over the kit, it's pretty solid from what it looks like. And it's nothing too special, which everybody's throwing a fit about because it's reused assets and, very familiar mechanics. But, I mean, I'm not going to throw a fit over it. To me, it's not the end of the world. I think Warmonger will play fine. I don't think, at least from, their actual moveset, I don't think they're going to be broken or anything like that. And of course, a lot of people are going to be annoyed and call for the nerf the day she comes out, because they're already doing it before she's even out. But I mean, it's just something to be expected. Just the overall move set, and then the community's response. And with her weapon, seeing the weapon, I've kind of expected something like that too, because I mean, it's another fucking sword. Like, it's just a sword. But the great thing I can say about Warmonger's moveset is it looks offensive. And offense is the big upside. It's really the only upside about Warmonger's moveset. So I don't necessarily mind that too much. But then, kind of reviewing everything, I looked at I rewatched Warmonger's feats because I didn't fully understand them, and I still kind of don't. But it's kind of, to me, it's very alarming because those feats look obnoxiously strong. And not just in the sense that they do a bunch of damage, but they also control the flow of fights, which is going to be very rough, because typically most feats, feats like that are good to control fights, you don't get till tier 4, which isn't very hard to do, but it's still behind that tier 4 wall, which means you got to get there first. But I think it was the first one, it looked, being able to put those AoE circles around people and have them do damage, unless that's the completely wrong feat, then having that before tier 4, that's a no-go for me. And I just don't understand why exactly they wanted to push the feats so hard. I get, uniqueness, and even then they still were introducing broken feats, or not even broken, they were just introducing some were broken actually, introducing really strong feats, even in year 3, like Blackbriar and his what's it called, Umbral Shelter. Hitokiri's Senbon Zakura was really strong. It's sort of strong now, but not that strong. Jormungandr's unique tier 4, it's pretty useful. John Who's tier 4 is pretty useful, so they're all strong and useful, which is perfectly fine. But to see Warmonger and how her feats are strong before they even reach the tier 4 mark is but it also provides, it looks like it's going to provide a lot of stalling potential, which to a degree I like, but instead of putting that in the feats, I wish they had put that in her actual kit. Like Jangjun, for example, you know, Jangjun, he can stall and fight multiple people at once. Maybe stall, I'm not sure about stall, but he can fight off multiple people at once, which is kind of what they wanted with Warmogger, I think, but they put a lot of that focus into the feats for some reason. And it's really concerning because I don't like a lot of the feats right now, and I want most of the feats nerfed, and not most, I want a good portion of the feats we see nerfed, because to be honest, we don't see majority of the feats in the game. We only see certain rotation of feats. But like, I don't know, I feel that's something Ubisoft might need to look at again, but you know, I feel like they should do that once this character releases. I don't feel like they should be buffing and nerfing anything before a character releases. That's really, like, I really don't have too much to say about Warmonger, to be honest, because to me, Warmonger, ever since I knew from the very beginning we were going to get a knight, and I was not happy with that, like, not at all. And just from an overall standpoint, I was just very upset that, you know, that I'm not even gonna say upset. Disappointed is the right word. I was very disappointed that we got another knight, because at this point I don't really want to see knights. I want to see more Wulin. That's really what I'm interested in, because I want to see how they bring more Wulin into the game and what they do with the Wulin from a gameplay standpoint. I want to see that. I don't want to see more knights. I really don't even want to see more Vikings. Samurai, you know, I'll take another samurai, because samurai are cool. Come on now, the badass. If you disagree, you're wrong. You're stupid. That's it. No arguments. No, I'm joking. But yeah, my biggest issue with Warmonger was really just that they're a knight and they look very generic. It looks like they just pulled something off of it looks like they took Apollyon, and then for other stuff, like other outfits and stuff like that, they just took pretty generic knight looking things off of like the internet and were like, oh, let's make this a character. And the whole reusing assets and the gender lock, neither of those bother me. I don't really care about that. We've had gender lock characters since release, and we had gender lock characters up until year 3. So I guess, you know, it's fine that we introduce another gender lock character, especially since we're only getting 2 this year, which that's sad. But yeah, that was really it. And then the price for Warmonger is $8 just for the character alone, which I'm iffy about simply because I'm cheap. I don't like to spend that kind of money, especially I don't want to spend that money on a character that I don't really plan to play that often. But at the same time, I do want to support Ubisoft, but it's very difficult for me to support them when I don't like their practice. And I understand why they did it, because it's not like Ubisoft is constantly throwing stuff, throwing like microtransactions or stuff like that in our face. So it's not like they're making money off of us, just like off of them advertising stuff to us and we just buy it. Because really, I'm pretty sure the main way they make money is just off of the steel packs, and to go to the steel packs, you have to get there yourself. They're not really throwing steel packs in your face. So, I mean, it's understandable, but I don't know, $8 for one character. At that point, I feel like I need more than just a little more than just that singular character. It better come with some cool cosmetics, like outside of that too, some unique cosmetics that people who wait 2 weeks don't get or something like that. I don't know, but there needs to be something else, I feel, to go along with that, because at most I'm only really willing to pay $5 for this character, because that's what I feel this character is worth. And especially since they, from what I understand, this character doesn't speak Latin, and it's not the end of the world. And you know, I kind of do appreciate them putting English, giving English a bit more of a spotlight, because it's always had this weird relation in the game where English kind of exists, but it doesn't at the same time. So, you know, I guess it's kind of nice to finally see that English kind of is in the game, even though if it's not the preferred language. But, you know, I'm fine for mixing it up a little bit. Maybe it won't be that bad. I don't think it'll be that bad. Even then, it's not the end of the world if she doesn't have Latin lines. It would have been, I think it might have been cooler, but it's not the end of the world for sure. But really, that's really all I have to say about Warmonger. To me, Warmonger is just kind of meh. I'm not impressed, and it's not for the simple reasons that, like, it's gender lock and they're appealing to feminists by adding a female character to the game, because I've seen that a lot, and I don't understand why people are upset about that, because I'm not sure if people remember, but we have a whole bunch of gender lock classes, and even from the very beginning, they released a lot of, I think maybe, I want to say half the starting cast were gender lock, and that's split between male and female. And then between that, I want to say it's almost a 50-50 split when it comes to the gender locking. But it really isn't that big of a deal, and I feel, you know, people need to get over themselves. There's no need to make it political. Even on the Twitch chat, I saw something about, oh, a gender locked character? What are we going to get next? A race locked character? And I was like, what? Y'all can't see my face, but I was just sitting there actually surprised. Like, people are losing their minds over a female gender lock character. Like, it may not be the most desirable, especially in a community dominated by men, but it's definitely not the end of the world, because there's nothing wrong with every now and then we get a male or female gender lock character. It's bound to happen at some point. And even with the whole year 3 thing where they said that they weren't going to be doing that, they did say that, but I don't necessarily think they meant going on for the rest of the game's life. That may have been more, as we see now, that may have been more just referring to year 3 and those characters specifically. They wanted to try something different. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but, you know, I'm curious, anybody who's watching this video, you know, I'd love to see what you think. You know, let me know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed and you like the content, subscribe. If you like the video, maybe drop a like on the video. If you dislike the video, go ahead, dislike it. But really what I would appreciate is, you know, we just sit down and talk about this, because this whole thing is very, very controversial for some reason. But that's really all there is to Warmonger for me. So y'all have a good one. Black Star Gang.